Hi, Valerie Leonard here, co-founder of Grinkmeyer Leonard Financial, and I wanted to tell you about an exciting opportunity that I had earlier today. On behalf of the American Retirement Association, I had the opportunity to meet with the offices of Senator Richard Shelby and Senator Doug Jones to let them know what we're seeing in the business world, particularly as it pertains to 401k plans, and give them some insight into some of the more technical details of how 401k plans operate, and also some of the practical tips that we have, especially in light of the COVID pandemic, that would help small businesses operate and continue to function. I want to thank Senator Shelby and Senators Jones for allowing me this opportunity to discuss improving America's retirement security. I'm proud to represent Americans in their attempts to roll up their sleeves and work hard every single day and save hard and pursue their American dreams. And I'm thankful to Alabama senators that they support legislative efforts to protect our economy and to help businesses expand so that they can provide competitive jobs and competitive compensation and competitive benefits, especially in the retirement space. So my goal today was to just give them a little bit of background on what we're seeing with our 401k plan clients specifically, and to give them some insight into the conversations that we're having on the ground with American workers in this current environment. So just a little bit of background on who I am. I live in Shelby County, Alabama. I have 3 children. I co-own Grinkmeyer Leonard Financial along with my business partner, and so I have a front row seat to what it's like to be a business owner myself. I also co-own another business with my husband, a window treatment business in Tuscaloosa. And I've been in the financial services industry since 2003, and I have had a front row seat to the successes and to the failures of my clients. I've had the privilege of celebrating with them when they succeed, and I've also had the privilege of grieving alongside them when life doesn't always go the way that they anticipated that it would go. And so it is my mission as a human being, as a financial advisor, to learn from the successes and from the failures of the people that I've interacted with, to take my own personal experiences and the wisdom that's been passed down to me from my clients and from business mentors whom I respect immensely, and help people avoid making some of the same mistakes that I've seen other people make, but also give them prudent advice that will help them achieve success, hopefully much faster. I represent over 5,000 American workers through the 401k plans that our team here at Grinkmeyer Leonard Financial manages. And these companies are in all sorts of different sectors: auto manufacturers, architects, plumbers, lumber companies, doctors, retailers, tech companies. So we work with a wide variety of companies. And if there's one theme that I can tell you that I see most often, it's that money is a very emotional topic. So just to give you some insight into some of the conversations I've had recently, I just recently met with a gentleman who works for a lumber company. He's made minimum wage his entire life. And I had the privilege of sitting down with him and reviewing his investments through his 401k plan. And when I revealed to him that through his own retirement savings, but also through the money that his employer has contributed on his own behalf, that he had over $100,000 in his 401k account, he literally cried tears of joy with me right there. And it was just amazing to be able to listen to his story and to understand that no one in his family had ever had that kind of money. I just recently had a conversation with an auto worker, and she revealed to me and confided in me that she has spent her entire life savings trying to help her son, who's an opioid addict, get the help that he needs to beat his addiction. And she doesn't know how she's going to retire. So I've worked with her to encourage her and to help give her some actionable steps that she can take to get back on track to the best of her ability. And then, I've worked with business owners who are challenging their employees to grow beyond what these employees ever thought was possible. In some cases, they're helping them go back to school to pursue dreams that otherwise would never have been on the table. And then I work with people, of course, that are fully funded for retirement. I just recently met with a software engineer, and his concerns were, hey, I've saved, I've worked hard, but how do I make my money last throughout my entire lifetime? I want to enjoy my life, but I'm worried about outliving my assets. So these are just some of the conversations that I'm having, and they're very, very important conversations. So as Congress looks at ways to provide relief due to the COVID-19 pandemic, I specifically asked that Senator Shelby and Senator Jones support federal legislation to provide immediate 401k plan relief for businesses. So we all know that businesses, especially in the small business world, are facing significant cash flow hurdles right now. And the American Retirement Association just recently did a survey. There's over 600,000 401k plans in our nation. And the ARA believes that over 200,000 of those 401k plans are at risk for a partial or a full 401k plan termination because these companies need to decrease their payroll costs in many respects. And so our goal is to give employers the flexibility that they need in order to maintain their retirement plans, because we know that when people have access to a 401k plan, they generally save, and we don't want that to stop. There needs to be some guardrails in place to prevent abuse by employers, of course, but we want to see that 401k plans are not terminated in them. So at the American Retirement Association, we are proposing that small businesses with less than 500 employees that still owe contributions to their 401k plan for the 2019 plan year just be given a 1-year delay on those contributions. And we also propose that they not be subject to partial plan termination rules. So what that means is if you lay off more than 20% of your workforce in a given year, your plan can actually be partially terminated. We don't want to see that happen. So we would like to see that if an employer has an active participation count as of March 2021, that is at least 80% of their active participation count on the date that the national emergency was declared, that they would be able to avoid these partial plan terminations. And we also want to see that it's easier for companies to implement beneficial plan features. So there are costs to every company when it comes to setting up and maintaining and administering a 401k plan. And a lot of times small businesses don't want to, spend the money to look at unique plan designs that might benefit Americans because they can't use plan assets in every case to potentially pay for those expenses. The Department of Labor just recently interpreted current law to mean that spending plan assets on plan formation and design would be impermissible, and that only expenses that relate to the implementation and the ongoing administration and legal compliance of those plans can be paid for through plan assets. But we want to see that small businesses consider important plan design features like automatic enrollment or retirement readiness programs that help educate American workers, and that they're able to spend money on those types of things. And we strongly support a law change to allow retirement plans to pay for certain expenses relating to optional plan features that will increase retirement savings. We also are not proponents of a financial transaction tax that would eat away middle-class retirement savings. So many people don't know that an overwhelming majority of people who have money in 401k plans are not wealthy. And so we believe that a financial transaction tax like the Wall Street tax that's on the table right now would actually translate in a 31% increase in 401k plan fees. And that would require American workers to work another 2.5 years just to have the same level of retirement savings that they would had the Wall Street Tax Act not been in effect. The Wall Street Tax Act does not exclude retirement assets. There's $10.7 trillion in retirement assets. So this is a big, big, big deal. So we're not proponents of this tax. And then also, we're huge proponents of electronic delivery disclosure requirements. So many of you have received notices from your employer in the past as they pertain to the 401k plan, whether it's a fund change notice, whether it's a notice about fees or your eligibility under the plan. In many respects in the past, these delivery requirements meant that plan sponsors had to distribute these notices via paper form. And just recently has electronic communication really come to the table. We believe that thanks to the Department of Labor's new electronic disclosure safe harbor, that it will save $240 million in retirement plan costs every single year, which would potentially result in a 9% increase in a participant's 401k account balance. So we're huge proponents of the Department of Labor's rule, and this, in our belief, preserves the ability of an individual to receive all the notices that are required, but we oppose any attempts to withdraw this rule or supersede the rule via regulation or legislation. So this just gives you a little bit of insight into what's in my mind and how I'm going to bat for you, and how our team is working hard every single day to make sure that you have meaningful 401k plans that help you achieve your goals. And if you're a plan sponsor and you're looking at implementing a 401k plan, or you are just needing some help, you're needing an advisory team that's really looking out for you and helping to explain things in terms that you can understand and making your life easier, our team at Grinkmeyer Leonard Financial would love to have a conversation with you about how we can help you. And if you're a 401k participant and you have money in a 401k, you have questions about investments, or you want to learn more about how to achieve your financial dreams, please reach out to me. I would love to hear from you. I would love to learn a little bit more about you and help you as well. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope this video has been informational and helpful to you.